أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلا هادي له اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا برحمتك واشرنا مع الذين أنعمت عليهم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Brothers and sisters, welcome again to a new episode of Daily Reminders. Today is day 16. Alhamdulillah. We pray to Allah to make it easy for us to finish successfully and accept all that we do in this month. Accept this as an act of ibadah from you and us, so that we'll be among those who listen and follow through with good word. So we pray that Allah make it the one who would
in progress
and not speak against us. Yesterday we stopped at describing and introducing how Allah is bringing proof to those who are doubting return to Him and the capability of Him bringing back to life the dead. Then Allah is giving us various examples to reestablish this fact, because as Muslim we believe in the day of judgment, we believe in the gate, we believe that there is resurrection, we believe there is day of judgment, we believe in all of these signs that we see to be a pointer to our Creator. While Allah is reestablishing it for people who are still in doubt or do not believe. So all of these are various signs that Allah is speaking that we can see in obviously for us to know that He is the one in charge, and He keep telling us that all of these are ayats from Him, that only Him could do so such of those establishment and things, that is creating things out of things and out of His creations. So subsequent verses that comes after this are gonna be re-explaining these signs of Allah. You just go back to the same point that Allah wants us to know that if you disbelieve and you think all of these that you see, you disbelieve in it, there's gonna come a day that I'm gonna pragmatize this for you, and you will know that everything is still al-haqqul mubin. It is a true of clarity, inshallah. So we're gonna proceed from verse 36, where Allah said, after He has reestablished that if you look at the trees, vegetation and food produces around you, the tree branches and all of those rivers, vegetations, all of those, if you see, after you have seen those to be my sign, that I provided you, sustenance, food produce that you eat because I created you, then I provide the means of your survival for you. After He has introduced us to this, and He even mentioned that most of it we do not work for it. We do not ask for us. We do not know how grains are produced, for example. We do not know how fruits grow from seeds. Then Allah said, all of these are my sign. And He said, Subhanallazi khalaqal azwaja kullaha. He said, glory be to the one who created the universe in pairs, who created divisions أزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسكم ومما لا يعلمون, to which the earth itself take its place to grow. And even among ourselves, Allah said, and we gave this example yesterday, Allah said, even among ourselves, we make effort to produce male and female. We don't know how, we do our own parts. One of these brother was explaining this in a kind of a scenario of the verse of Allah that Allah said, He doesn't give anything for free. So even if you're going to produce kids, Allah said, you still make the effort to do, have intercourse with your partner. That is still a human effort, that Allah will bless and bring, kids out of it, offsprings. So this is also saying that Allah said, you do your little effort, and I bless it. You see, that you only did what you did. You do not know how I did the surgery, how I, walk in the three darkness in the womb of the mother, how I increase, months after months, flesh, bones, and all of those. You don't know how that works. Allahu Akbar. Allah is saying, if you see this, to be not to be a sign, then what would you believe? And Allah is also reestablishing that you think about, then after months 4, 8, 9, and they say, it's a boy or a girl. You cannot you don't know, you don't know or you don't have the capability to say this, this pregnancy is going to bring a male child or a female. Allahu Akbar. Even when you go to the story of say that Maryam, when she was conceiving, she saying, "Faliza zakaru kal unsa." A male child is different from a female. Allahu Akbar. Then Allah said, "I know what you carry. I know if a male or a female is better." This is for us to say that even when Allah still say that, Maryam, that inna Allah stafaki wa taharaki wa stafaki ala nisai alamin. Allah has chosen you among the women of the world. She doesn't even have the knowledge to say that I want my child to be male or female. Allahu Akbar. Then this is what Allah is prevailing here to say that even among your own self, you create, you partake. That is the good word. You partake in production of a child, and hidden decide if it's a male or a female. But eventually, you see that you have a male child, you have a female child. Allahu Akbar. Then he said, وَمِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَمِمَّا لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. And even there are some of these, creations that you do not even know of. There are some fruits. There are fruits really in this world that we don't know. They exist, but we don't know their name. There are plants, there are trees that we don't know. They exist, but we don't know them. We don't. Some of them we see. Some of them we just see them to be now. We don't know their name. We don't know their source. But Allah said, many, many. Even a scholar, then when he was doing tasbih, he was doing glorification to Allah. He said, with the numbers of the creation that Allah made that we do not know, that some of them are even more than the ones that we know. All of these are what Allah is using as His jalal, as His might to tell us that things that we do not know exist, but they are around our world. Then he proceeded, he said, I like to be more explicit in this verse. Inshallah. Allah said, وَآيَةٌ لَهُمُ اللَّيْلُ نَسْلَهُ مِنْهُ النَّهَارِ فَإِذَا هُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Allah said, a clear sign for them is, during the day, we take the day, the lightness out of the day. Then we bring night time, so much so that we then see that, oh, it's night time, it's time to rest, it's time to sleep. Then Allah said, لِتَسْكُنُوا فِيهَا. We are the one who go around the world, bring us a man who will bring you, nighttime, that you rest upon. And we explained yesterday how everything in the nighttime go down in submission to Allah, just to reaffirm that He is the only one who can do that. And Allah said, we take the day out. What is becoming a day? That is the sun. And the next verse explained that Allah is the one who is of this the best speech, even though Rasulullah is known to be Afsai Khaliqullah Kalama, the one who is most eloquent. But Allah Himself, when He speaks, you can tell that no man will speak like that. Allah is telling you, like a laboratory. Now He's explaining step by step. The next verse explain how the sun, bring about the daylight, and the next one explain the moon. Now, before we go there, I said, we take what pronounces the day, what pronounces the day, which is the sun, who bring the daylight. Allah said, we take it out, we take the power out of it. Then it doesn't become, we cannot call it a day again, because it has produces the night now. It is nighttime now. Allah said, فَإِذَا Muslimun. So we now find ourselves, in the dark. But what happened again when it's nighttime? There is still a different kind of light that is being produced. Allahu Akbar. This is a sign that Allah is saying for us to look at, not just how it's AM, it's PM. I said Allah said we should think more of those to be signs. He said, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا. Then Allah said, and the sun has its hobby that it runs around to. لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم. This is a glorification of the one who is most exalted. I'd like to explain this a little bit. The scholars they have uh two positions in this, and even if you go to Ibn Kasir, he explained this very 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 deeply. He explained that the scholars has two views in this, and most stood by the one that says he has the throne, the sun evolves around the throne of Allah. And even that what I remember is when you go to Ayat al-Kursi, when Allah said, Wasina Kursi samawati wal ard. That means when the sun descends and it rotates around its orbit, it's also saying when Allah said, his throne covers the whole world. So it's the same thing when the scholars, the ones who agree to the point that when the suns move around during the day, it goes around, the throne of Allah. Then the most accordingly, he returned back to his position when it's, in the evening time, it's about to be night. And the second position is, is going to return back to his position on the day of judgment. That means every day, and that is the verse that I said, Allah said, till the day of judgment, the sun will be coming and it will be going, daytime, nighttime, it will be revolving like that. Then the second position of the scholars that believe that the sun will go back to his position on the day of judgment. That means it's going to keep coming every day till the world ends, and it's going to go back to his clear position on the day of judgment. Now, what do we want to learn from this? We take an example of how when the sun descends, we expect it to break the day to us. Allahu Akbar. That is why after Fajr, they said, the time for dua. That's why Allah said, La yasjudu li shamsi wala lil qamar. You don't go down in prostration to the breaking down of the day because the sun has descended now, or wala lil qamar, or to the moon, but you do sujood to the Lord, who has created that. That's why Allah Himself said, "Yeah, Tabar, Subhana." That's why I say, Subhana lazy. Glory be to the one, not Subhana li Shamsi. Allahu Akbar. That's why when the day breaks like that and it's time for dua, that's why they said it is a good time to make prayer. That is why the period itself is called duha, the period of making dua, supplication, because of the mightiness that Allah is using in that period. And that is why, as powerful as this is to explain the mightiness of descending of the breaking of the day by the sun, Allah even used that to make an oath to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he said in Surah Al-Duha, he said, "What duha wal layli iza saja." Allahu Akbar. You see, Allah brought back the day and the night again. He said, "What duha?" When the day breaks, how do we know the power of that? Because of how Allah used His might in that period, how heavy it is. Allah used it to make an oath to Prophet Muhammad. He said, "What layli iza saja." When the night is in its darkest. Then Allah proceeded, so this is for us to learn that all of this that we see, that prevail every day, we don't want to see it just to be normal. Like the brother said yesterday, may Allah increase in knowledge. He said we're supposed to ponder about it and not just see that, the day is breaking, or the moon or the sun is setting, or the moon is coming out, or we just enjoy the recreations around us. You also to think how everything evolves. And sometimes you look at the sky, you see how when the sun is taking position, how it rotates, different shapes every day, different shape. It takes different position. Now let's go back to where Allah explained the moon. He said, "What qamar قدرناه منازل حتى هذا كالعرجون القديم." We determine also, Allahu Akbar, the movement and phase of the moon, so that until it is descendant and how it returns is different. Let us break this down a little bit. A clear example is when the month of Ramadan descends. The first day, second, third day, the shape and size of the moon is different. It breaks a new month to us. But its shape is different. But when the days of the month start counting higher, then the size also increases, the light decreases, And I think we saw the full moon 2 or 3 days ago. That is how Allah is explaining that these are how my signs work. And if you go to the verse when Allah said, I created this for you to know the count, to count, days and months. That is why when the month breaks, we say, oh, it is the month the moon of a new month. It breaks. Just a clear example is the month of Ramadan. When it comes, we say, oh, this is breaking a new month to us. And even say like the night of the 14th of the or 15th of the month, you see the full moon telling us that, oh, we are halfway there. And it takes a different form to say it is a different period of time now. It's a different period of time now. And yeah, the verse was also brought when you go to Ibn Kathir. He said, وَجَعَلْنَا لَيْلَ النَّهَارَ آيَتَيْنِ. We made the day and the night 2 signs for you, so that we have made the signs of the day illuminated, that you may seek bounty from your Lord, and that you may know the number of the years. You see, so that we can count, what is this bringing to us, and how to know our seasons, summertime, wintertime, how to differentiate from all of this. That's why the 4 sacred months are even used to make dua, how to make clarity, because we wouldn't know if it's just coming and it's just going. We wouldn't know it's a new month. It's a new day or not. Then Allah said, لا شمس لا شمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون. This breakdown of the sun and the moon, how it rotates around. I mean, I'm not a geographer or an astrologist. I might not have the full details of that, but the point there is that Allah is making is how this rotation works and how they evolve around the orbits. We should pick the sign there that there is someone who is in charge of all of those. And Allah said, La Shamsu Yembagi Laha. The verse 39 itself could take days to break it down. It could take days because you want to also have to say how, and even I think even Kasir said the Arab have different names for different nights of the moon. Maybe day 1, day 2, day 3 have different name for it. Even the people, those who ilmul falak, those who are of the knowledge of astrology, years of study. There's a different book, where we were in school, we have a different book of, they call it Al-Falak, a book that you just want to study, the sun and the moon itself. And even, the old scholars, they don't need time that we use like this. They use, the moon and the sun to take count. We've seen how, they look through, I forget how they call it. They look through the sun when it's setting to tell you that this is the time, this is this. That is their own way of knowledge. They follow through the explicitness of Allah's knowledge here. So this is for us to know that Allah make it evolve like that. But we see it today to be, it's just normal. It's gonna be morning soon. The sun is gonna set and it's gonna break again. That's what we know. But this is Allah made it a different dimension, and the old generations, they saw it to be what it is, and they will tell you when it's time to pray Zuhr, for example. You're gonna see how your shadow works, stuff like that. That's how they calculate. Oh, it's time to pray. It's a little bit, and Allah gave them that knowledge. Now Allah is saying, La shamsu yanbaghi laha an tudrika al-qamar. This is a very beautiful verse and one of my favorites, in this explanation of you know, uh, evolvements of the universe and revival of the dead. Allah said, La shamsu yanbaghi laha an tudrika al-qamar wa la laylu sabiqu an-nahar wa kullun fi falakin yasbahun. In a nutshell, Allah said the sun cannot take the position of the moon, and neither the moon will take the position. You cannot say, it's daytime now, the moon wants to come to play. And I said, never. It has been ordained. That's why it prevailed in the previous verses. They said, well, that now you have prescribed its own way of rotation. You have prescribed its phases for it. Even the sun, we have prescribed the course to which it's going to rotate on. So, La Shamsu Yembagi Laha and to the Qamar. The sun would not say, I want to go and play with the moon today. You know, that means it is the day of judgment. They say that is when the sun and the moon collapse. So the moon will not say, tomorrow, let me go and say hello to the sun and see how it works. You stay in your own position and play your role. That is what Allah is establishing there. Then he said, Wakullun fi falakin yasbahun. Each day, all of this, all, in an orbit, what do? They glorify the name of Allah. The breaking of the day by the sun is glorifying the name of Allah. The moon, announcing new month and how we bring a different kind of light is also glorifying, the mightyfulness of Allah. Even though the moon is reflected from the sun, and like I said, I'm not a geographer or something, but even though the moon reflect from the sun, it also bring a different kind of light to us. How beautiful it is still. Then Allah is saying, all of them, wakullun fi falakin yasbahun, all of them, they are coming, their existence, they are worshiping Allah. They are coming out to affirm to do tasbih. Wakullun fi falakin yasbahun. And Ibn Kathir used the word swimming for yasbahun. But the real affirmation there is yes, from tasbih, it means they are glorifying. They are glorifying, the name of Allah. Bismillah. I'm going to wrap this up with when Prophet Isa alayhi salam, when the people of Israel told him, ask Allah to send down, signs and blessings from us. And he asked Allah, then Allah said, Inni munzilwa, I sent it down for them. Why? To be a sign. Now Allah put a comma there. After I have sent these signs for you to see, because Allah even told us, you see, let's say for example, you say, I just eat, it's from my Lord who created me to give me food to eat. But even now, you produce people who look like you. Now you cannot tell us you are blind to see that is sign. Then Allah told Prophet Isa to tell them that after I have disclosed all of my signs to them, to reestablish that I am the one in charge, and if they disbelieve, Allah said, Inni u'azibhum azaban la yu'azibu ahadan min al-alamin. I'm going to punish them a punishment that I've never given to any generation in this world. Allahu Akbar. How severe could that be? And Prophet Isa alayhi salam, eventually he knows how tormenting the punishment of Allah is. He said, into azibahum fa innahum ibadu. If you punish them, Allahu Akbar, they are your servant. They have nowhere to run to. Even though they are ignorant, they have nowhere. But if you forgive them, you are the one who is the most forgiving and most honorable. So this is also for us to, refer back that people will still disbelieve no matter what, but Allah is wanting His word to go forward first. And, just tell them they are blind, and even on that day, Allah will bring this message back. He said, did they not tell you of my clear signs, or you did not see yourself? What excuse do you not have today? You have no excuse. Peace in Allah. We're going to proceed in a different kind of sign tomorrow. Then Allah says, Allah is bringing us back to generations that have come before us, like our ancestors and grandfathers, stuff like that. But just to summarize this phase of the universe, the sun, and the moon, even if we ask ourselves that at night, once we want to go to bed, we pronounce death on ourselves. The prayer that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us, said, Allahumma inni, when we go to bed, we say, Bismika amutu aya. Allahumma bi ismika amutu. Oh Allah, by your name, I want to, proceed to the dead land now. But I also want you to wake me up. Aya. This is like what Allah said, ayatun, we bring from what is dead. Because every single one of us went through, a death time, when we sleep. That is the list of death time. But by Allah's mercy, it brings us back to life. That's why when we sleep, our soul goes back to a different land. And that's why we dream. We dream from where our soul went. And, we come back to life. You say, oh, I see this, I saw this. I saw myself, a place far ahead. And even when we wake back up, we said, Alhamdulillah, lazy. Ayana Badama Amatana. We thank Allah who has brought us back to life after He has killed us, after He has taken our soul. So Allah is saying that, look around you, things that were dead that I brought back to life. Even as human beings, sometimes our heart gets dead. Allah revive it. Allah said, if we look at a barren, for example, a barren who doesn't have a children. When Allahu Akbar, when Allah descend the ahya, Allah use his yuhi or humid, he use his capability of bringing to life on it. Then he does that. He shakes and brings back to life. That's why Prophet Zakaria, these are clear examples. Is when he didn't have, he said, well, Allah, you said you're gonna give me a child. How would I, my wife, she's old. Well, and Allah said, we are in charge. Then Allah said, I reshape, I reform the wife, for him. Even Prophet Imran, the father of the mother of Jesus. The father of the mother of Jesus. The same thing. Allah said, then I recreate, the wife for him, so that she can have the state to give birth. So this is a reaffirmation that everything that is dead around us, Allah has the capability to bring it back to life. And if you go to I think 3, 4 verses to end this surah to Yasin, when they were asking that who will bring back to life the bone which is dead. And I said, you hear Aisha Awwala Marra, the one who has created it at first, he will bring it back to life. The one who created it from nothing before, he will bring it back to life. Allah said we should look at the sun when it breaks the day. We should look at the moon that brings us a different kind of light and breaks news of new month to us. We should look at the rivers. We should look at the trees and the branches, different size, color, taste, smell, shades, form. Allah said, look at all of these and how when the rainbow descends, when the moon descends on the river, they call the beautifulness of all of this. Allah said, don't just take pleasure in it. See them to be signs of how you work in different shape and form. Take it to know that they were something that were dead because it's for different time. The sun set during the day, when it's in the evening, you go to rest. And I said, all of this is something those who think, and I said, take it to be something that reminds you every day that how we bring back, the dead to life. Because even if I say, for example, the sun should not break the next day, he was dead. I will only bring it back to life, when the next day to pronounce a new day. The tree, when it's dead, I bring it back to life to produce new produce so that you can enjoy. And all of this. So in summary, Allah wants us, not just the disbelievers, because the message were directed to those who disbelieve in all of the revival of the dead. Allah is saying for them to look around us. But we also want to strengthen our faith, although we have believed in it. But while we enjoy all of this, every day of our lives, we also want to take them to remind us that we should also go back to the tasbih that tabaraka lazi. And I remember we said this yesterday that all of this should make us say the word of tasbih because Allah Himself said, "Wa kullun fi falakin." All of them that you see, what they are coming to life, what they say, is to glorify me. So we also want to do that while we enjoy all of these views. We're going to stop here for today. I hope and pray that Allah make this something useful for us and we get the message that we use in that. May Allah forgive whatever we have said as transgressions and whatever we have said that is good is by the pleasure of Allah. We're going to continue from here tomorrow, inshallah. 41. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, there's any comment or questions? Yes. I would assume it's okay. Allah increase us in knowledge, inshallah, and give us beneficial knowledge. Amen. Ya Rabbal Alamin. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.